anyways, this is going to go on YouTube, and it will be our live coaching session that we're going to be doing on stream at Roku, twitch.tv/Roku TV. It's up there. And when I do one of these, you can come in here, ask your questions live as I go through the replay of some other Darius player. All right. So for this time, I've picked the demo of Sir Obliterator, who, if you've actually been hi Indurus, if you actually have been to my stream, you know this guy. He's the mod. He's a pretty decent mod, pretty good, and we have a lot of inside jokes between us, and he's a real one, right? He's one of the boys. So,
Yeah.
Obliterator, introduce yourself.
I purge people. I don't fucking know. You're putting me on the spotlight. What the fuck?
Obi, go watch. I know I'm putting you on the spotlight.
I completely, my mind went blank.
Okay, so this is, I'll do the introduction for you. All right, how about that? This is Sir
No,
Obliterator.
I got it. I just needed
Fuck my life.
to think it through.
Okay, go on.
Hello everyone. I'm Sir Obliterator. I'm a Diamond Darius player. Been here for years. If you know me, then you probably know me from my unorthodox builds or runes or whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much the unique side of me. Other than that, I pretty much just play Darius and stream it whenever I can.
Unorthodox build, by the way. So he built mod this game, which we're gonna get into eventually, but right now we gotta start with the basics from step 1. All right, so let's just start off in the basics. All right.
The screen share is closed. What the hell?
I know. Just tune into the stream, and let me know if you get a good view of the bullshit. All right. And it's gonna be a bit awkward for you, because you hear my voice and the stream's gonna be a bit late, but I have low latency mode on, so it should be like a 3, 4, or 5 second delay at most.
Nah, I muted the stream so that I could hear you.
Yeah. All right. Your skin choice is Dreadnova isn't the best skin choice, but for the flexing effect of I have Dreadnova and you don't, it is pretty good. And that's pretty much it for the
Alright. You wanna know why I use Dreadnova? I just needed to use a different skin for Sam DB's montages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Too many people using God King, what can I say?
Yeah. Well, I use default, and I try to use God King in my plays, but in all of the sick plays that I hit, I'm always on default Darius. So alright, what you're doing here is fine. Let's just turn off the vision so that we can actually talk about getting ganked and shit, Alright, so the first thing you do is walk out of the base and walk in here to scout the jungle. That's pretty good. Basically, what you want to be doing early game is okay, so what I'm going to explain right now comes before before you load into the game, but you kind of have to just look at the entire map at both teams and kind of figure out figure a few things out about what both the teams are capable of, what they can do, etc, right? So first off, your junglers. As a top laner, if you're gonna you might as well just ignore the whole team, but you have to think about your 2 junglers. All right, so it's Fiddle and Lee Sin. All right, now obviously Lee Sin is the stronger ganker and the stronger early game champion out of the 2, but the Fiddle is way better in team fights, and as you can see in here, this composition is not bad, but it's slightly worse than this composition because they got a nasty amount of CC here. So the Darius won't be able to do too much into the JAX stun, the Fiddle Fear, the Ari Charm, the Ashe is regular bullshittery, and the Nico's just a ball of bullshit CC. So it's not a good team to fight for these champions who want to move around a lot, it's just CC against that wins. So yeah. For the most part, it is the better team comp that wins, but that would be if it wasn't human beings behind the team comps, but it is. And a lot of people get tilted, a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and as Darius, your job is to just win, whether that is through brute forcing them in team fights or through breaking the enemy's mental, alright? So, like, we just discussed that they have a shit ton of CC, so I would suggest going, now we're up against JAX in lane right now, right? And
Yeah.
going Mercs into JAX just makes no sense, which is why I would stay on Boots of Speed early on, so that when we get into like the mid-game team fighting section, I can buy a Merc Boots, right? And then I can use the gold I get in lane to better itemize into things that might help against Jax, I mean, these colors are just no one executes niche Pokemon's or like one character first person assumption. Yeah. And like in solo queue, right at the moment in solo queue, no one really knows how to play split pushes properly. So like, it's just nobody knows how to split push properly. And I will have a split push guide out at some point. So yeah, now that's not saying that the fiddle, like back to the analysis, that's not saying that the fiddle can't gank top lane, because top lane is just easy to gank. What does he have to do? Just right click on you, fear, gank. Good job, fiddle. So you gotta watch out for that too. Now normally fiddlestick players start off at blue buff, so that like you might be able to walk into lane and gather early pressure or whatever, and you'll also know that the fiddle is probably going to clear the blue side and then go into red side and gank mid or bot lane normally. All right, that is the normal case. The thing about macro and tracking the enemy jungler and like just the thing about tracking the enemy jungler and just like predicting what the enemy is going to do is that like in higher elos we don't actually know any of that shit 100%. We're just guessing, It's just educated guesses, like, oh, because of these things. Why am I getting invites into fucking no? Because of these things, where like the enemy jungler is likely to be here or there, or the enemy jungler is like to do this specific thing, So that is why, like, that's just macro. We just guess, right? And most of the time, the guesses are correct. So if the fiddle is a psychopath and like does unnormal shit, like he invades the jungle when Lee's there or some shit like that, then that won't be guessable, I guess, because he's doing something that's just not a part of the normal plan. But his normal pathing will be from here to here and then gank one of these, and then get this crab,
Makes
so yeah.
sense.
Yeah, of course it does. I said it. Yeah. So I mostly myself like to scout here. When it depends on where my jungler is, right? If my jungler is here with me, I scout where you're standing right now, which is pretty good. But like, remember that this is the more important scouting position, because a lot of people like to come here and ward your jungler's rapid camp, which will really destroy your jungler's pathing. Like the enemy will know, so the jungler can't gank. So if you standing here will stop them from warding this, all right? And when you scout, the idea is to just, the second you start to see the enemy team, just run, all right? You will not be able to just stand up to them, all right?
I mean, I can, but yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Obi. All right, so your Lee's starting blue side, which is not going to be the normal thing. Like a lot of the AD stronger early on champions will be starting off on the red side, like doing their red camps, because like they want to fight earlier on, and red buff is so much stronger than blue buff for earlier fights. It's not even like close. It's not even close. So like red buff gives your like slows on your auto attacks, damage over time on your auto attacks, and it does HP regen. So this is a very poor choice by Lee Sin, but I guess he's planning on pathing towards bot topside and ganking you. So now you know this, right? Fiddle
Something like that.
is probably not going to be here at top lane at level 3. Oh, map cover doing VOD review? Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot it. Alright, you guys see the map right now? There you go. Alright, sorry. Thanks for running toxicity. Alright, so, now you have the knowledge that, like, Fiddle won't be top lane, but Lee Sin will be top lane. So you can't play with that kind of knowledge that not will be, but will probably be. So if the JAX is in a gankable position, then, like, the Lee Sin will be able to come in top and kill the JAX easily, right? So, like, the thing about working with junglers is that, like, you kind of have to just predict what they're gonna do, alright? Working with and against junglers, you kind of just know the jungle champions, what they tend to do, and gotta play around it. So Twitch, if you're on this side of the map, and you're up against Twitch jungle, he's gonna do this, and walk straight here and start auto-attacking you. That's what Twitch does, you know? So that's why you want to play back here and give up the first minion wave. Because, like, it sucks they have to do this, but you just have to. You know, there's nothing else you can do about it. So yeah, let's actually start with the VOD. Like, I'm just doing these things to cover the groundwork, you know? Like, I don't want to leave any, you know, gaps of knowledge. And I'm also playing some chill, lo-fi, hip-hop, normie bullshit to get us all in the mood to study, I guess.
Study.
It's just lo-fi beats to study too. Like that fucking gif. Speaking of jungle, we lost the game to Leona jungle. Yikes, dude. Imagine. I've actually played against the Leona jungle once too, and it was annoying as fuck. But then at the end of the game, she just turned into another meathead for me to cleave through anyway, so it didn't really matter. Hip hop normie bullshit. I love it. All right, let's get into it. So, what? Basically, what you should be doing ideally is one of two things, right? You either should be hard. There are two ways you can play out the early laning phase on Darius, right? Hello, Ego. How you doing, buddy? Nice emotes. All right. There are two ways you should be playing out the early laning phases, right? So first off is the aggressive way. The aggressive way is to just like
get level 2 first.
Get level 2 first, and then just zone the enemy off the CS, right? And then once you have level 2, and once the enemy can't dare to walk up to you, then you kind of just have to like slow push the lane. Just kill the minions at the last possible moment. And try to like do this at a speed where you shove the third or the fourth minion wave into the enemy turret, you know? Because when you do that, you have a lot of minions that are just coming with you onto the enemy turret, you know? And when you're in this massive minion wave, you'll probably be able to 2v1 most jungle ganks, right? That's one. And two, when that minion wave crashes to the enemy turret, then like you're in a position where like the time it takes for the enemy champion to get all those minions should be enough time for you to go into the enemy jungle, to get the blast cone here, the vision plant here. You can put a deep ward in the blue buff, or you can even go mid and gank if their enemy mid laner is pushed in and they're freezed, you know? So like it's definitely a thing that you can do, alright? So just keep an eye out for that shit.
Darius mid roam gank.
It can work. It can work, you know?
Every time I think about doing that, I keep on thinking the opposite, which is, for example, Ari is just gonna walk away on sight.
The thing
or
is,
do I
like,
just ghost at her?
Like, you kind of want to just take, if you see this, you kind of want to just take this path, and then like, if the Ari is pushed into the Victor, which is very likely, because like, look at this lane. Ari has Ignite. She has the better wave clear early on, and Victor is just running TP, and he's like, and she has Electrocute. Ari is definitely more aggressive in this lane. So if you push a like the fourth wave specifically, or like a large enough wave, then you will have time to come get a kill, and then or get a flash or like the summoners from Ari, and then come back top lane in time to you know collect the wave that's JAX is slowly pushing back into you. You know, like you won't lose too much from that like you know roam, whereas the enemy team is going to lose a lot from that roam. But this is not what you have to do every single game, you know? League is a very dynamic game, so like conditions change here and there. And also Ego, I'm fine. Sorry for not responding to chat, but we're kind of focusing on the coaching right now, so like if anyone's going to type in chat, like please do like questions you have about the game, alright? Or what I'm explaining if you don't get it, alright? So yeah, you basically got what I'm explaining, right?
Yeah.
One more thing to look out for is the enemy support. If it's some shit like Pike or Bard, keep an eye on whether they're missing or not in bot lane. Because, like, it's not common, but they might just roam and fuck your shit up, alright? Okay, let's go. So you come in here, you stand in lane. You should be here still, but it's fine, you know? One thing you can do is pretend like you're leashing here, you know, like stand here, Q so that your mana is low and they think you use your Q to kill the red buff, and then, you know, they think that you leash your enemy jungler. That's one trick you can do, but this is fine, you know? Alright. What are you doing? What are you doing?
No.
Okay. The fiddle
I think
starting
I
red
was
side.
alt tabbed.
All right. So the
Yeah, I was
JAX.
alt tabbed.
All right. Well, you don't do that. So the JAX wasn't leashing in his jungler, obviously, because he just was here, right? So like
Yeah.
this basically means that the Fiddlesticks is has started his red buff, right? Because the enemy bot lane isn't here either, right? So you can do these kinds of predictions and shit, but like when you see factual evidence that someone's starting at that camp, then you gotta change your plan around, right? Because like the fiddle should be starting blue side if he's a proper fiddle player, but he obviously isn't. Now, what does fiddle starting red side actually mean for you, right? Now, fiddle starting red means that he's gonna take a few camps, maybe fight the Lee with Skullcrab, and then be here, right? Same as your Lee Sin. So you're gonna have to like change your plans up and be like, okay, now I have to deal with extra jungle pressure, you know? So just be
Yeah.
prepared to fight. Like that's why having a big wave works, because then you can actually fight off a 2v1, especially if you fought with a Jax before. All right. So
Yeah, but
hmm?
Fiddlesticks can start wolves. Solo, by the way.
I know. So if the both people are in their lane in time, that means he probably started somewhere solo, you know.
What if they fake leashed?
If they fake leash, it's kind of harder to guess. But that's like the thing about League is just about guessing, you know. You just
Right.
you used what you think you use what you think you know about junglers, and then like you just make guesses, you know. Like oh the enemy bot lane is here, but they use like mana is a very important indicator of whether they leashed or not, right? So if someone like walks into their lane late, but they haven't used any mana, then probably they were fake leashing. All right. Boop, thank you so much for lurking Zero, educational stream. So like if someone has not spent any mana, they were very likely fake leashing. All right. And that thing you said about Phil being able to solo wolves, that comes from like knowledge of champions, all right? Like you know that about Fiddle, so you know he can do that. All right. Good
Yeah.
Q. I would have gone for the minions earlier, but that was a nice Q. So that's what you want to do. You're playing way too far back. You want to be here, and you don't want to let him auto these minions, alright? Like, you want to just contest every single CS with him. Just bully him for every single part. And when he activates Counter-Strike, just start walking back, and, like, he's going to land one auto and stun you. And then you come back, and then during the entire cooldown of the Counter-Strike, which is 20 or so seconds, he cannot do anything. He cannot CS, he cannot walk up. So that is when you take control of the lane, alright? So, yeah, that's how you kind of trade into Jax level 1. Level 1 into Jax, you're going to want to hit him with as many Qs as possible, you know? And just like, you just fight him level 1. Because level 1, you beat Jax. Level 2 and 3 kind of gets more messy, but like, as long as you have your hook, then you should be able to outplay his Counter-Strike. So, your Q should be up again. You're not going for minions, alright. So, Obi's going for the other playstyle here, which is letting the enemy push to you. This can work sometimes, because what you're doing here is you're just giving up the early pressure, and like being like, okay, I'm gonna start playing after level 3. That is only okay into certain cases, right? Because sometimes like you're basically giving up early priority, right? And early priority isn't always like, you know, important, you know. Like maybe the RE isn't pushing out, maybe there isn't a fight in Skullcrab, you know. But like if Jax has this pushed, and we know the Fiddle's gonna path here, and we know that at least Lee's gonna path here, so we know that it's very likely that they fight over the Skullcrab here. So if you let Jax push into you and get prio, then he will be able to help, and you will not be able to, you know. Or if you just walk, you will lose the lane essentially because you're just giving up so much CSM levels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you let him get level 2 first, which is very bad. And now you're at a position where you can't trade into him. Where this Jax should just be jumping on you with Counter-Strike. Because he knows you have Q. But he's stupid. But he gets
I
any
mean,
good...
he's gonna miss minions if he does that.
Dude, it doesn't matter, you know? Like,
I mean, I have second wind and shield. I'm gonna regen the HP.
you're not gonna regen enough, right? He should just go in and be chunking you to the point where, like, if once you get your abilities, he'll just win the all-in, you know? Because Jax is one of the few top laners who can actually beat Darius in an all-in if he outplays your W and your Q, you know? Like,
Okay.
if he jumps into you while you Q and you miss it, and if he blocks your W with his Counter-Strike, he will win the all-in, alright? So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay? So, he's trying to get all the CS, and you should probably be playing a bit more back and trying to get only the CS that he's allowing you to have, you know? Like, right now, this is like the perfect position they want the lane to stay, by the way, right? So what you want to be doing here is to be thinning the wave so that it stays around here, right? Because if he crashes these minions into your turret, then it's going to be good for him. But if it kind of just stays around here for longer until you get level 3, then once you hit level 3, you will be able to all hit him and kill him with your ghost and just run him down and kill him, right? So you Q the wave. You should kill all 3, but that's fine. You level W. Most of the time you want to level E into JAX so that you can outplay his, you know, like get E second into JAX so that you can outplay his counter strike, you know. Because when he counter strikes, he jumps onto you, you pull, and then you walk out of the counter strike's radius so you don't get stunned, you know.
Yeah, I already know that.
Alright, good. Yeah, you should just be trying to hit as many minions as possible to thin the wave right now. Optimally. Alright. Alright, level 3. Now, if you thin the wave properly, now this is why I told him to thin the wave, because if he thinned the wave properly, he wouldn't have to fight into this many minions. He will probably get the kill because this JAX is kind of stupid, but, you know, like, optimally, thinning the wave here would just give him a kill. Now, the replay is kind of bugged because it doesn't show bleed stacks, but we're going to see the stacks through here. Alright? He got 1 stack into him, and yeah, as we saw, if you thin the wave, he would actually be able to get an all-in into JAX. Right? He hits another Q. That's pretty good. Okay? And this is perfect. This is perfect. He should just be, like, matching JAX's damage onto the minions, and just trying to, you know, keep the wave here. Now, this is what I told about priority, alright? Because if you had prio, you would be able to try some shit here. You know the fiddle's here. You'd be able to actually invade and kill the fiddle with your Leon, etc. Alright? You're doing pretty well here. Could be doing a lot better, but it's fine. Okay. Kill this. You should be saving your Qs just with the JAX, by the way. Alright, don't hit the minions anymore. You shouldn't be hitting them anymore. Yep, that's fine. You kind of have to, like, practice killing the minions as low HP as possible. And also, when you're trying to freeze, try to kill the minions when your range casters have sent their auto attacks. Let's just see. You see these little auto attack thingies? Now,
Yeah, I see them.
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
if you kill their target before they reach the target, then, you know, they're wasted, and that's the DPS of your minions is gone, you know, which is good for freezing. Okay. Nice, nice. All right, you can go for an all-in here. E. All right, all right. Obi should have definitely gone for the all-in here. JAX has 3 stacks on him. Q, he landed his QW and auto, and JAX is at like half HP right now. He just get back here because of corrupt pot, you know. If at this point Obi could pop ghost and then run towards the JAX and auto him, JAX will start counter strike. But before the JAX could stun, Obi will, like, okay, do I have that pen thing? I don't fuck. But yeah, 3 blood stuff. I mashed DDD. Yeah. Or F, because I have ghost on F. Thank you so much, Prince of Zeiss. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the wolf pack. So, at 3 stacks, he's around here. What he should have done is, like, pop ghost and run towards him. JAX doesn't actually have any minions to jump to, so he has to waste a, like, a ward, right? So you walk towards him. He starts counter strike, right? And when you get to him, you should pull him, so, like, he's just stunned, and then walk in front of him. Like, walk down here-ish, right? So now he has to just either walk towards his turret or walk kind of away from his turret at an awkward angle to, like, you know, get to stun you, basically, right? And then you can just walk him to his turret and either kill him or get his flash. If you get his flash, the minion wave is over here, which means he's a free kill for your jungler, or, you know, he has a long way to run to escape from you. Or you just kill him, which means, you know, you get gold. We all know how good kills are good. He didn't take the opportunity, which is good. And JAX is actually going in again. This is a definite kill, alright? That's a definite kill. There's no way fucks it, but, like, the JAX coming in back there is just a death sentence. JAX should have died here, and so he does. So Obito could have killed him a lot earlier, but this is completely fine. He's probably just gonna die to the bleed. Yep, good job. Alright, so basically, like, he got the first kill. Alright, let's just go a few seconds earlier. Okay. Now, a lot of the issues like some Darius players run into is like, what should I do after the first kill, you know? Because like running Ghost on Darius is like the thing that you should be doing optimally, right? It's like what you should be doing, right? Now, when you run Ghost, it's like kind of obvious that I'm pointing this out, but you don't have teleport, but the enemy does have TP, so you kill them, and look at this, you have 300 HP, and if Jax teleports here, he's gonna be able to kill you, you know? And like so you basically have two options, right? If you got enough HP, and if the death time is long enough, or if you have a jungler near you, you should shove the wave as hard as possible and just hit it to the enemy turret, right? But sometimes it might just be better to leave the lane as it is and just go back, alright? Because
Yeah,
when you
most of the time I do that.
Hmm?
Most of the time, that's what I do if I'm low enough.
Yeah. You just leave the lane as it is. See, the way you got the lane right now is actually perfect if you leave it as it is. Because what's going on here is that the enemy lane has the same amount of minions as you do, you know? 3 melee, 5 range, 1 cannon. 3 melee, 5 range, 1 cannon, right? That's the same amount of minions on both sides. And what's even better is that your minions have lower HP than his. So if you go back and you do nothing to this wave, it will naturally push towards your turret, right? And Jax is gonna teleport and is gonna start shoving this way because he does not want the lane to be stuck around here. If it gets stuck around here, he's gonna die again, you know? So basically, if you just left this lane and you went back the ways and you came back, it will be in the perfect position for you to get another kill, alright? And instead of doing that, you start trying to push it. And he teleports back, I assume.
Probably.
And you kill him again,
Actually,
right?
yes, on the cannon. The thing is some of these top laners don't understand that minions actually do more damage than they would expect.
Yeah. Alright, so Jax is teleporting to this minion, and like the replays are bugged right now. I don't know why they don't show like things, but Jax is teleporting to this, right? And what Obi did here, he killed all these minions, and he got a massive minion wave on his side, you know? And like into most champions, like into like a lot of situations, like this might work, alright? But it is very risky, and if you actually die to someone teleporting back from base, it's gonna be very, very difficult for you to like come back into lane after this. But like he shoved the wave fast enough. He doesn't have his Q, or like he has the E back up, but he doesn't have his Q to just Q him instantly. But like, you know, he can actually fight off from this wave, right? So let's see what happens here. And when someone's TPing to a minion, what you do is like you prepare your Q, you wind it up, and then you just hit it as soon as they finish teleporting. Okay, you auto. He's in the minion wave. Okay. Okay, good. So that's how I'll play Counter Strike. You know, you pull, you walk away from it, and then you know. Yep, good. Yeah, that was perfect. Flash auto. Yep. You didn't need to flash there, but you know I would have for safety. All right. So that was pretty good. The Jax just inted into a massive minion wave there. What the Jax should have done is let the minion wave push into him and like thin it out so that he could freeze it here. And Obi wouldn't have been able to contest that too well because he's got lower resources. But what he did here was like the Jax inted and the Obi punished that. The Darius punished that. So yeah, since you're the embodiment of Darius anyway, you know. All right, just shove the blade, shove and go B. And looks like the wave is going to be crashing here. One tip, the minions are mirrored, you know? If your minions are here, like, this is just a tip I'm giving for the chat too, then the enemy minions are here, you know? And also, you know, like, the Fiddle's probably bot side, because they fucked around here, and now, like, they're back. And let's see if that is true. Oh, he's in base right now. Yeah, he'll probably be pathing bot side, because he just took everything here. But yeah. So for the next 2 minutes or so, you have Jax ult to yourself, and you should be able to kill him again. Let's just speed it up. All right, what are you buying here? This is the interesting part. You get, how much gold do you have here? And you get Phage and Replot. All right, that's a pretty good purchase. I myself get Phage, Boozy, Replot. That's a pretty strong purchase. I myself would go for a control ward, but instead of the refill potion, because I can just kill Jax on command, and like I probably won't get into a position where he'll get me low enough so that like I need a refill potion, but that's completely fine.
That's
You
worth
sell
the
it.
money.
You buy a
I'm
D blade.
kidding.
You bought a D blade. All right. So look, stacking D blade into matchups where like you want the extra stats is good. Let's say you're in a Kled matchup and you can't kill him. And you need the extra bit of stats and you don't have enough for Tabi. Then buying a D blade might work out. But this, you've already won this lane. This Doran's blade is a waste of money. The boost would help you a lot more in this situation, right? So only buy D blade if you've died and you want to cheese and get the lane back into your favor again, or like if not that you've died, but like you just need that extra bit of like stats and power to just push through and kill them, right? So Jax is here. He's CSing. He's mad. Bot lane does bot lane things and ints. But we're used to that, aren't we?
Yeah, 1,000 of those games. Yeah.
Hobies play like 10k games, so like, All right, so you're just straight up stronger than Jax, and like you actually can at this point, with the amount of stats you have with everything, you should have the health to just like step in here and kill him through these minions, Yeah, you can just kill him here. Yep, you should be stopping him from taking this. Good, kill him. Is this a kill?
Nah.
It should be. All right, how much? All right, you kind of fucked that one up, but that would have been a kill, like 9 times out of 10, right?
I mean,
Alright.
he has everything up. I don't know how he's supposed to die.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Like
He still had Q up, didn't he?
he just, I mean, he kind of did have like Q up, but like what you should have done is use your E to walk out of his stun, right? And like what happens at that point is that if he doesn't have you stunned, then he has to make a choice. Do I use my Q to escape, or do I use it to jump on the Darius? At this point, if he Qs either direction, you can just flash and continue killing him, And he doesn't really have anything to like Q to either, He doesn't have a ward. He has a blast cone here, but whatever the fuck. But like, you can just flash to him and kill him, So like, if he goes onto you to stun you, then like he's fucked. But you can counterplay him, but you could kill him there, but it's fine. So you should be perma-freezing this wave, right? You should be thinning the wave out a tiny bit. To freeze, the enemy wave should have 4 more minions than yours, like 4 or 3, so you can freeze it around this area, right? So just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the cannon minions count for 2 usually, but this one is low, so we'll count it as 1. And then we have 3 minions here, so that is why we have to kill like 5 of these before it gets to this point, and just tank those like 4 minions,
Yeah.
So okay, you kill the cannon, good. You Q, alright, you kind of, that was okay, but like, you don't want to mindlessly Q the minion wave, alright? Because that ruins your chances of freezing. X6155, thank you so much for the follow, man. Welcome to the wolf pack. Haven't lost a game of shit in 2 days, holy crap, yep. Alright, this is good, You're tanking the minions, you're stopping them from pushing, and yeah, that's excellent. And what you did there was bad. You should let those minions keep DPSing. Right? Just hit CS the minions. Your minions are currently hitting, alright? Alright? You W'd killed that one minion when it was too high HP. You kinda wanna kill it when it's like from here, alright? Like when the minion's HP goes to that point, then you wanna auto before the minion's auto attacks go in. Alright? The freeze is still salvageable, by the way. It's still doable, right? I like this. I like what you're doing here. I like what you're doing there. That's pretty good. Actually, if you hit that W, you could. That was actually like you could have all-in him with your Ghost Flash and just ran him down his, like, turret. Because you hit your W, he has to Q to his minions to get out. But you have both your mobility spells to just chase him down, so like he just can't get away. He's just probably gonna die. And he has no flash, So you should have let him get that, but it's fine. Because he's actually helping you freeze here. Pretty good. You shouldn't be hitting that. And you fucked your freeze right there. You fucked your freeze. See, if what Obi could have done here is keep this permanently frozen here and zone JAX off of CS. Right? And if JAX comes into range to get hit by a W or whatever, just all in him and kill him. This is what you want to do to your against the enemy top laner if the enemy jungler is actually a good jungler, If the enemy jungler is just a loser that you can 2v1, then you can just feel free to push forward and have fun, But the enemy jungler is this, 5-1 Olaf or like, Lee Sin who's just sweating his ass off. Then freezing is the optimal thing you can do into lanes that you can just kill like on command. Like you get 2 kills on your opponent, just keep it frozen around here, right? And if they get close enough to CS, you just go kill them, but they probably won't, right? Which means that like you get all the CS, they get none of it. And if you zone them hard enough, they don't even get the XP. Freezing is so fucking powerful because how much gold is there per wave, Like each range minion is 15, 15, 45, and each melee minion is around 20. So 60 plus for each wave is 100 gold. When the cannon gets here, it's like 50 extra. That's 150 way early on. And eventually it comes to the point where it's like it's 200-ish, So if it's like 100 to 150 gold per wave, that's 100 to 50 gold that you're getting that he is not getting, And each 2 waves is another kill that you have that he does not have, That's how freezing is so powerful. And that's why in pro play, whenever someone achieves like a freeze, the enemy team has to break it. Because it's just an endless funnel of resources to whoever is farming, It's just very powerful, a freeze. And especially in higher elos, like people call their junglers over just to break the freeze. No, not to gank, not to get a kill, just to help push these minion waves in. And, like that's how strong freezes are. And learning how to do it is very useful. So, auto get that. Good. This is a slope. Alright, he went back. Alright, you should just be hard shoving. And that's what you do. Great job, great job. Hard shove, keep it here, get a plate, go back. And build, I think you have, build towards like your Triforce, Boots, and then build towards your Triforce. Did you take, what runes did you take into this?
Conquer, Triumph, Tenacity, Lost Stand, Second Wind, and Unflinching.
That's pretty good.
Attack speed, AD, and armor.
Alright, cool. So, normally you would want to get Demolish. However, Obi's choice was actually correct for this game. Because look at this team. They have a lot of slows and a lot of CC. And Unflinching actually works very well into this team right now. So that was a good choice on your part. So good job, Obi. Feel good about yourself. Okay. So, you lose some minions, but that's completely fine because you just come back with... Well, let's see what you bought, actually.
I bought Tabbies.
You bought Tabbies. Alright, that means you're playing for the wave. Now, I myself wouldn't go for that because you've already won the lane. JAX is no longer a threat to you, while the enemy team kind of is. So getting Merc Boots would help a lot more against the Fiddle's ganks, one, and it would even sometimes help against JAX himself. Because JAX's Counter-Strike stun basically stops you from catching up to him. And the shorter it is, the more time you have to just walk on him and just kill his ass, alright? So you should have gone for Mercs if you're gonna buy boots, or just normally just build towards the Triforce, just straight up. Okay, scorp it off. The JAX is missing. We want to ping the missing at this point, that JAX is not here, and then shove the wave into his turret, Okay, good. Alright. At this point, yep, we should have pinged missing, and the JAX actually pulled off a roam. See, what the JAX did here was very good. He pushed the wave into a turret, and then he went for a play. And it worked in this specific occasion. So, you know, that JAX did a good job. So what we should be doing here is shoving this to here, and either trying to get a plate, or trying to zone the JAX off of his turret, you know? And zoning him is kind of more difficult. So I honestly just would go push this in and get a plate. And even if possible, I would get these minions too, you know? Because then it will be even a larger wave pushed into this, and I could go and Roman, etc. You know? Like, go take these plants, take this. And you did what I told you. That's pretty good. You got the plate, you got the CS. Alright? And now you should be going to look like this ward. If you guys are gonna ward into this bush, put it on this side. It's much better, you know, because it gives you way more vision, honestly. Yeah, and this is just the lazy way of doing it.
Yeah.
All right, you take the yep. You can actually kill the fiddle here. You can kill him. You got the blue buff. Kill him. You should have just popped ghost and ran towards him. You should just flat.
I was thinking about that, but then I knew Ari just went. Ari disappeared from lane, and Jax was coming too.
The thing is, like, at this point,
you have a 1v3.
You could actually kill two in the 1v3, because the fiddle there is actually just useless, right? So the second you saw him, you should have gone in and ghosted and killed him, and at that point, you know, like you could just walk up here and use the blast cone to get away. But we know the JAX used the blast code because we saw the replay. But like, you could have just killed the fiddle right here very easily, you know? Like, you saw him.
Yep.
So the optimal play would be just to like activate ghost, walk towards him, hit a W, and then a Q. And what would happen here is he would fear you, but the W would make sure that he's slowed, so that during the fear he can't actually walk away. And your Merc boots would actually help you kill him faster, actually, because the fear wouldn't last too long, and then you could just be able to go back, get 5 stacks, kill him, and then walk up here, blast cone, get away. Because there's a blast cone, you could just flash, you know? Or you could just walk out, you know, like this. Either way works, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's nice that it's good that you were like concerned about, oh, Ari is here, Jax is here, but like, and that is the normal way to go. But like, as a Darius one trick who's like, oh, I know that I can get away with this shit. And if I was on your position, I would go for the kill and get the fuck out, because that's just a free kill. And killing the jungler actually is so powerful, because this just sets your Lee Sin way ahead, and it sets your enemy jungler way back. But the overall result of this was pretty good, you know, because, you know, Obi actually took the red buff from the fiddle, which kind of just the blue buff. Now the fiddle has no more mana to do any of these camps, so he has to go back. If I was you, I would actually take the crab, but the Lee Sin. Alright.
Lee Sin was
Yeah,
coming.
Lee Sin, it's fine. This is straight. Yeah, yep. Alright, go back to lane. That's pretty good. I would save my Q for the JAX, but that's pretty fine, right? We're gonna be coaching for like a bit longer, and then we're gonna go into your deaths to see how you did, or your kills, you know, like your plays, I guess, to see where you fucked up in them, and if you should change focus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, if like you could communicate with the Lee Sin to actually plan a dive, actually, you know?
Nah, he muted all.
He muted all. Oh, that sucks. But like, normally speaking, your jungler should have communication, and you could, you know, be able to plan a dive and then, you know, execute that, because you're 2 levels up on JAX, so you have a lot more HP, you can take a lot more turret shots, and you just one-shot the Lee Sin at this point. And Obi is known to tell his junglers to stay away, actually. Heister.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the best thing to do, buddy. Gotta work with your team, it's a team game. Here, I would just like, if you have Demolish, and you're in a situation where you're just a lot stronger than your lane, then you could just walk around here and use the Demolish proc and take the damage for your enemy laner, alright? So that's one thing you can do, by the way, if you have Demolish, but the Obi didn't. And him going back here is an okay decision. Alright, let's just move forward to some other moment in time. Alright, you died to a gank here. Or you did something, I'm not too sure. right? So like you are strong enough to 2v1 at the moment, but like, you know, Ari's missing. You actually had this warded. The Fiddlesticks is gone. You're probably about to be 3v1. Actually, I'm making poor decision. Alright, man, you could work on that by watching those videos. I should have my wave control and macro videos out during like either the next week, during the duration of the next week or so. So, like, I would have like I'll have some videos helping you with that too, right? So yeah, you start your back here. Oh, you actually don't. Okay, and you just straight up push this. That's pretty good, but like, all right, what does this tell you? What does this tell you? He's actually fighting you, right? This Jax knows that you beat him over and over again, right? I'll add you. I'll add you. So this Jax knows that you beat him, right? But he's now fighting you. What does this tell you, Obi?
Well, the thing. Well, I was thinking, hey, let me try get my 5 stacks as fast as possible before Fiddlesticks arrives.
That should have been your approach. But like, basically, to actually accomplish that, you should just go straight up, and walk towards here. You know, because then the Jax will have to jump onto you and then stun you. That's bad for the Jax because Fiddle has to walk kind of a bit of a distance, whereas the Jax is already on you already. So you can E, Q, auto W, whatever the fuck, and then run him down with the Ghost, you know? At that point, you should have 5 stacks, and the Jax will kind of be looking to run away, and the Fiddle will be there. And you'll be able to pretty much just one-shot the Fiddle, because he's low HP, so Q, W, R should just do the trick, you know? Oh, you hit the Q, that's pretty good. You get the 5 stacks, and you fuck up your R. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. Now it kind of gets into champion knowledge, because like we kind of know that Phil's ult can like you kind of want to be ulting into, and like the Jax kind of baited you into coming in here and getting ulted by the Fiddle. Like I wouldn't really expect this too much myself either, but I wouldn't be ulting Jax that early. But it is whatever, I guess. But like if you like your objective would be to drag the fight over here though, right? Because like if you actually had the fight happen over here,
Yeah.
then the Fiddle would actually have to walk towards you, you know? The Fiddle would not have an angle like this where you could just cheese a kill into you, you know? So sometimes, like, even though if you are getting ganked, you want to fight on your terms. And you probably win on those terms. And you actually see the Fiddle. You see the Fiddle, actually. So you could have maybe backed off a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think you saw it, but you do. Alright. Well, the Fiddle gets your bounty, which is pretty bad. You die here again.
That's true. This one was a solo kill.
The Jack still kills you. You have your
Yeah.
ghost, so that shouldn't be happening, but let's see how it happens. You're low HP, you can still beat the Jax. Let's just look at the items for a second.
I mean, I don't know what happened, but
You have
yeah.
Cleaver, okay. Cleaver into Triforce, yeah. I don't know how he completed Triforce with you just battering him over and over again, but we can see Lee's because yeah, Lee Sin's just playing bot lane right now, and it's not really working too well, but it is what it is. Lee Sin's an inter. So yeah, look, I would have gone for Triforce this game because look at the enemy team. You're ahead. You're the carry, and the enemy team has no tanks for you to like, cleave with your Black Cleaver passive. You know, so Triforce would definitely be the way to go for this game, and not to mention how like Triforce would like not let you lose this 1v1. So yeah, let's continue. How you lose this? Okay. All right. All right. You don't want to Q the Jax when you know his Q is up, alright? Because he's 100% gonna jump onto you. You want to start with your auto attacks, like W, and then like just keep auto attacking him until he procs his counter strike. When he procs his counter strike, start walking back, walking back, walking back. Since you have a ghost, you should be able to kite him, right? And when he jumps onto you, start your Q. You know, it doesn't matter if he jumps onto you and stuns you. You know, but just for he's in minions. No, no. At this point, the minions aren't going to do too much because it is level 10, you know, and both champions have their items and shit. But like basically what Obi should have done, he should have prop Ghost here, and then kept autoing the Jax like auto walk away, auto walk away, auto walk away, and at some point Jax would activate his counter strike and then jump onto Obi. The second the counter strike is active, Obi should run towards that direction or other direction somewhere, so that, like he's not in Jax's counter strike, and then Jax would jump onto him, and it is at that point you want to press E, hook, and at that point you can either walk out of this counter strike again if you have the time, or you get stunned. And it's not too bad because if he's stunned, you still have your pull out, right? If you pull out, you still have your pull used. And the thing with with Darius's abilities is that stuns don't stop them. Stun, if you start your W, a stun doesn't stop it. If you start your E, a stun doesn't stop it. It still goes through. So even though Jax has him stunned, the Darius will still have the E go through. And what's good about this is after the E goes through, the Jax will be slowed for 1 second, which lets the Darius, who should have Ghost Pop by now, walk away and kite the Jax properly, hit him with his Qs, hit him with his Ws, until the Jax is low enough to be killed with an R, you know? And now he just dies because he didn't manage any of his abilities and shit. Tragic. But it is what it is, you know? Like, I guess Obi was greedy with this Ghost, but it's fine, it's fine. This is a 1v9 game, by the way. Obi's like literally the only person in this game playing. The rest of his team are just mouth breathers. The thing is, like, he has a Tarek, which he could work pretty well with. Like, Tarek could just ult him and he could take all his bullshit. But honestly, like, he doesn't have Merc boots or, no tenacity. So, like, he's probably just gonna get fucking his ankles broken by the CC.
I
You have
mean,
anything
I
for
have
another replay?
tenacity. It's just
Not enough. It's
no.
just
It is enough. It's just there's too much gap in terms of. Well, I kept getting one shot by fucking Ash
alright. Look, Obi.
later on.
This game was probably not winnable, but there are a lot of things here that you could have cleaned up to improve your own gameplay, alright? This game
Yeah.
ended up in a loss, obviously. But, like, even in frustrating games like these, you shouldn't be like, oh, I lost because of my team, even though that is the truth. Obi lost because his team was playing badly. But Obi could have been improving his own gameplay based on just this game, you know? So that should be your attitude. Fix your mistakes while by watching your own games, you know? I'm gonna be playing my promos to D3 after this one. Alright, so what do you do here? You have your ghost, so you should be able to kill him. Okay, that's pretty good. So like, at this point, you kind of want to fight Jax before he stacks up his passive. When he auto attacks the minions and gets the passive, but that's fine. All right. See, great job outplaying the counter strike. Okay, good, good, good. Excellent. He's just gonna bleed to death, but this is fine. Yep. He did a good job. And you get the turret. That's very good. The enemy team's gonna do the Drake, which is kind of bad because like it's a fucking mountain, which kind of fucks your team's damage because it's Victor and Jin. But that's fine. You get the turret, take the minions. I would honestly like push them a bit further and take the next wave either and then go back. But what you did here is completely fine.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Now, like, the reason I would push the minions is because like, a lot of the times when some objective is being contested, like let's say they have 4 people here and you're split pushing, right? Now, if you go back to defend that, like, that turret is already going to be gone, right? There's no point in you going back to defend that, because by the time you're already there, like, the turret's already gone, you know? Now, if it is, like, a game-ending push, like, they're going for the inhib, you know? There's 4 of them there, then, you know, maybe going back, like, might be worth it to contest that inhib, but if it's just 2 people killing this, and you already have people that are defended, then don't go back to defend. Take another wave and then go back, you know? Because that's, like we mentioned before, 200 extra gold that you're giving up.
Yeah.
Alright, you're walking towards the Drake, which isn't what you should be doing. Because the Drake is already gone, man. Like, yeah, it's just gone. And what you should be doing is walking here to contest the bot lane. Alright? Somehow this worked. You missed the Q. See, that's what I meant by W. You know, you W during the fear, and he can't walk away properly. Okay? Okay? Where's your R? You used on JAX, fine. That's fine. Good kill, good kill. Good kill. And you should be clearing this wave. The Tark is coming, the Lee's coming. Now what should have been done is the Victor should go top and clear this wave against the JAX. But now the Jin's going top, and the JAX is probably going to kill Jin. Yep, as predicted, the JAX is going to kill Jin. But like, basically, you, Lee, and Tarek can make great plays here, and you actually do. Yep, one kill. Yeah, this is yeah. This is like the macro thing of going around on the map and just collecting kills around the map, you know. And the Jin is kind of stupid. I mean, it's kind of honestly Victor's fault for not going top and clearing the wave. But like, because like the middle of the map is way more safer, and like you know the Victor is obviously more capable of defending the turret. But this is fine. Excellent, good job, good job. So you got 3 kills, and you're actually in the position to carry this game with the Tarek's help. Now let's see what goes wrong. You're split pushing again. Now, this is the point in time where you don't want to be splitting, alright? Because just look at the map, you know? The rest of your team are worthless without you. Obviously. Like they just want to die. Like straight up. And they can't do anything without you. If you split push and the Fiddle gets a good engage on your team, they're all gonna be wiped out. That's free Baron for the enemy team. GG well played, you know? We do not want that. So alright, you walk into the enemy jungle like this. This is kind of a bad decision. Because when Jax is up here, you know 100% that he has backup in here. You know? Or his team is ready to rotate easily. So you should have known that they have a lot of people here. And I think this is what gets you killed. Oh, it gets you kills. What the fuck? Oh, the Lee's here. Alright, cool. Alright, the Fiddle's flash, good. It's good. And you get the Jax kill. That's excellent. R. Good, 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 good. R. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good job. See, if your team works with you, you can carry the game. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, they made the crucial mistake there.
Where? Alright.
Not in that fight.
Honestly, I don't know why the Tarek is split pushing here.
Split push Tarek is the new meta. Haven't you heard?
Okay. I mean, I do know that Tarek has the Tarek is the highest win rate mid laner, but yep. What you're doing is good. You took mid lane, and as the most impactful champion, you have the ability to do this. The split should be this, alright? Victor, he has teleport. He should be side laning. Jin and Tarek should be mid lane, and you should be bot lane. You know, or you and Jin and Tarek should swap between you two, and the Lee should permanently be playing around you, and Tarek should come into if it's a bigger fight. Like sometimes you can't just have to control your team and tell them what to do.
And if they don't listen,
right. Then like
just ask me if they don't listen.
Honestly, like I know you shouldn't. Like if they don't listen, it's fine. You know, most of the time they will listen because in solo queue, people tend to listen to the top, like the player with the highest kills, and they just gravitate towards them naturally, right? And like they only won't listen to you if you flame them before, you know. Now I personally, if I'm carrying a game and my team is being like this towards me, like they're not listening to me, I just say fuck you, I'm not carrying this game, and I run it down. But JK, like I basically like I don't know. I'm just joking, by the way. Like I'm not toxic, but like basically reformed. Yeah. Reformed for the stream. You wanna like you wanna just play to your best of your ability and just like go along with your team with whatever stupid thing they're doing, because you probably are gonna carry, you know, them with whatever they do. What elo is this? This is D3 D2.
Piss low elo.
Piss low elo. Yeah. Your team is in a very messy situation here, but you saw this. You saw the Nico. You should be going for the Nico. You should be going for the Nico. Where do you do this? Where are you going? Where are you going?
I thought that was a boss clone, and I thought she was gonna take it if I went there.
You warded it though.
Did I?
There's a ward here that's been here for 30 seconds.
Okay, I guess I didn't pay attention to the map.
Yeah, you should be. Reform, yeah. Alright, so now what you've done here is you're gonna class onto these people, but now the Nico has a perfect angle to walk into your team and ult and hit all of your backline and maybe even you. And Nico's just gonna wipe everyone out. Or the Ashe actually. Wait. Alright. You do okay here. Yeah, you went way too far in, you know? The thing is, if you actually went for the Nico kill there, you would just trade a Nico for Taric, which is fine. Now that you did this bullshit, when you went too aggressive, you kind of just cost your team the fight. Whereas like you took all their DPS on by yourself. You had Ghost active, but like I don't know, man. It's just you just shouldn't have gone in too far deep, you know? Like as Darius, like you should be looking to go on the back line and kill them, but not just 1v3 or 1v5. Like only accept those kinds of odds if you know you can get your Noxian Might in like 2 seconds by ult executing or by having 5 stacks already and just walking into them, you know? Also, yo, can you purge toxicity real quick? I don't want that shit in my chat. Sorry, toxicity.
Nah, he's referring to a joke that it's an inside joke.
That better not be
Sorry.
like an inference to, you know.
Huh?
That better not be like a, you know. I'll let that one slide, but like, I'm kind of serious about the rules, so don't do that, buddy. Alright, so, and your team just gets wiped out, as expected. Bang. Yeah. Purge toxicity. I know. Hello, hey, Shaky. We're doing coaching stream here. So, yeah. You kind of, like, you didn't lose because of you, but you could have carried, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not the reason you lost, but you could have been the reason that you won, you know? Alright, what's this? Baron fight? Alright, Baron fight, okay. This is a very risky Baron fight. The thing is, against this team... Oh, you actually killed two of them. Alright. That's pretty good. Alright, so... You missed your E, but that's okay. You should be zoning them off. You should keep, like, staying here, zoning them off. And the second you see the fiddle, what you should have done is just straight up run to the fucking fiddle and make sure he doesn't get a good ultimate off, alright? Because if the fiddle gets a good ultimate on you, then these three will just kill all of you straight up, right? Yeah. So the best thing would have been to just walk up to the fiddle and make sure that this Taric is doing it, right? This Taric is doing it. And, yep, there we go. See, he can't do much against the fiddle, but you can. And this fiddle thing just fuck your whole team up. Not only did it, like, fuck your team up like this, but also, like, Lee is low HP. He's in the perfect position to steal this Drake. And Lee Sin actually gets it, wow. But, like, normally, the Lee Sin should not have gotten that Drake, you know? The fiddle should have gotten that Drake. I mean, the Baron. But, you know. And they actually kill all of you. Okay? You can actually carry this one. Are the JAX. Okay. You could have R'd before he got his Triumph heals, but... Alright, yeah. Unlucky.
I enjoy slows, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's sarcasm?
Slows are meaningful additions to this game. Alright. How come the most toxic animation series? Because I'm taking it seriously now. Alright, so, yeah, the game's already gone at this point. The JAX has so many kills, you can't beat him 1v1 anymore. God, I hate Nico so much. Alright. This is a good cleanup with Ghost. R. Alright, good. Okay. Decent. It's 2 for 2 though. Or I mean 2 for 3. And honestly, like the enemy team threw kinda, but it's just gone at this point already. The game would have been over. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this coaching, Obi.
There's no point in looking at the rest of the game.
Yep. Like,
Come
I'm
on,
not.
your wisdom,
Huh?
your wisdom can improve the very late game decision. Nah, it's
Play
unsolvable.
Annie.
Yeah, if I play Annie, I don't really need to be in range to. Well, he's actually right. I just one shot the Ash and game over. It's actually right.
Just press Q on the Ash and R. But yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, YouTube. This is it. This is gonna be a YouTube video, by the way. So yeah, this is gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been done live. So if you want to catch more of these live, then be sure to come hit me up on the Roku TV stream. And thank you so much, Sir Obliterator. That's Sir underscore Obliterator on Twitch.tv. He streams sometimes too, and he just builds like the weirdest shit ever.
Yes, I am the Disco Prince, by the way.
He's the Discord Prince, the inventor of Ghost Cleanse Darius. So at some point I'm planning to merge that with my Blue Ball Darius to make the ultimate Blue Darius, but that's a thing in the future. Alright, that is pretty much it, boys. See you in the next video. That should be, I mean, a lot better than this one, right? Take care.